Now time for our next story. In my last video, I talked about Michael Bisping, who calmly walked away from an altercation with a guy punching him in the face. But today's story is about an MMA fighter, Joe Schilling, who last fought for Bellator in 2019, did not walk away from his altercation, and was seen on camera knocking out a drunk guy at a bar. I want you to pay close attention to the video I'm about to show to see who you think was at fault, because we'll see what Joe Schilling said about the incident afterwards. Here's the clip. This is what Joe Schilling said about the incident. Little context, this guy's rapping like an idiot. The busboy, who happens to be black, walks by and this idiot bumps into him and screams out, "Me and broke blank, we don't get along." The busboy was seriously offended but doesn't want to lose his job. As the night goes on, this clown starts looking at me. I go outside to smoke. As I'm walking back, he bumps into me. I put my hand out to catch him. He immediately says sorry. You can see me nod my head like cool. Then he realizes it's me, the guy he's been rapping about all night. He yells, "Hey!" I turn around and he flexes on me. Bad decisions are made every day. The busboy and DJ came up to thank me, and as you can see from the video, when he flexed on me, I was scared for my life and simply defending myself against the evil in this world. Now at this time, it is unknown whether police were involved in this situation, but what do you make about this whole entire incident? So it looks like we will not be getting Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis for the heavyweight belt, but instead it was announced that Ciryl Gane, who just fought this past weekend in a unanimous decision win over Alexander Volkov, will be now fighting Derek Lewis for the interim heavyweight belt at UFC 265 in Houston, Texas. This news shocked a lot of people, including Francis Ngannou and his team. Ngannou pointed out the inconsistencies with the UFC following the announcement. Ngannou tweeted, "I remember my interim title fight against Jairzinho. Oh wait." He basically said, why book an interim title fight when he just won the belt 3 months ago? And when he was a contender, the UFC refused to book an interim title fight between Ngannou and Rozenstruik, despite the champ Stipe Miocic being out of action for 9 months at that point. Ariel Helwani tweeted the same thing about the UFC, being reluctant to give Ngannou an interim title fight in the past. Ngannou replied saying, "Nothing has been right here." Francis Ngannou's manager, Markel Martin, told Brett Okamoto that this was a complete shock. To make an interim title so soon, if you look at the history of this division, it comes as a surprise. Francis is just now returning to the States to begin training, and he just won the title 3 months ago. We're unsure of what the reasoning is behind this, but we hope to get clarity soon and figure out something with the UFC. At the end of the day, they're in control of these decisions. Now, Dana White fired back at Ngannou's manager in Dana White fashion. He said, "This dude is so full of shit. He knows exactly what's going on and isn't shocked at all, because we told him several times this was coming. His management is incompetent, and hopefully Francis starts taking a look at new people to help his career." Ngannou's manager fired right back at Dana. "It's a long response, but it's worth it. LOL, it was a complete shock with your decision after we said September was good for us. Complete shock that you guys made threats after less than 3 months after you all were aware. Complete shock after you knew why Francis needed more time. That is correct. I know you're passionate, but you're trying to discredit my integrity when I've been nothing but respectful to you, Hunter, and your entire staff. Speaks more about you than it does me. I'm not even mad. I'm actually impressed that I've gotten your attention. Incompetent management? I think we've done a damn good job. I think you really don't like the fact that Francis is being represented by not only me, but an entire agency, one of which you can't control. Hence why you have people trying to rep him all the time to your benefit. I tell you what though, let's disclose everything for people to see. Emails, calls, texts, everything. Deal? Cause I'm ready to get blackballed by the UFC. I'm not defined by you or anyone else for that matter. How's that sound? Sincerely, your old employee, Markel Martin." Wow, that was a lot to digest. Let me know your thoughts on the interim title fight. Are you for it or against it? Our next story is an update to the Michael Bisping Bourbon Street incident. Speaking on his Believe You Me podcast, Bisping actually shows the video footage he recorded that got him punched by a stranger. Here's the clip.
So we're walking along and this is going on. Watch this. So there's like steel drummers playing along. I think it's the one in the middle you need to push. There it is. No sound. Brian. little woman twerking there for the audio listeners.
Hell yeah.
Look at this guy in a minute. There's a guy, not him on the drums. But whatever, you get the idea. So there's like a big band breaking out on the street. There's people dancing around. It's like a party carnival atmosphere, right? So, you know, being a typical tourist, it's embarrassing, but whatever. You pull your phone out, you're doing a little Instagram story because it's, you know, you don't see that stuff every day.
Cool. You're appreciating it.
Yeah, I'm appreciating it. I'm also advertising your shitty little band to my millions of followers. That's what you want. You want exposure. Anyway, this little shit comes up and says, yo, don't film. I said, what do you mean don't film? We're on Bourbon Street, buddy. I'm going to film. So I just carried on filming. And he comes and gets in my face. He says, I told you, don't film. Part of the band, part of their entourage, didn't have a cymbal or a hi-hat or a drum in his hand, but he was one of their crew. And I said, suck my fucking dick, okay? He's just, right? Fair enough, maybe I asked for it. And he goes, bang! He right hooks me, the little just there and then, out the blue, boom, fucking right hooks me, right? Hold on, I can still feel it, the little shit. So when he hit me and it was so soft, I instinctively just started laughing my head off. So I just walked away. I wasn't going to start getting into a brawl in the middle of Bourbon Street with a bunch of guys. I would have had a couple of cymbals and hi-hats smashed over my head.
Yeah.
Our next story comes from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who will fight Gilbert Burns at UFC 264. Speaking on the UFC Unfiltered podcast, Thompson says he expects Gilbert to try and take the fight to the ground, and also goes on to say that he expects a title shot with a win over Burns. Here's what Wonderboy said.
You're definitely not easy to put on the ground, so I mean, you know what he's going to do going in, though.
Oh yeah, he's looking to take me down for sure. I mean, will I ever be as high level as Gilbert Burns at this point? I don't think so. I mean, the guy's just ridiculous on the ground, but every fight starts standing up. You know, it's kind of like preparing for Rory McDonald all over again because the guy's so well rounded. You know, so I'm prepared wherever the fight goes. You know, I got 3 5-minute rounds to do what I need to do out there, and I think, to be honest, with a good performance over Gilbert Burns should set me up nicely for a title shot for sure. Yeah, man, Gilbert's strong. I know he's got a 71-inch reach. He's strong in the clinch, but I got the reach advantage on him. Got the distance on him. I think I can keep the fight standing and pick him apart. I thought it was a bad matchup to begin with because, you know, he lost to not one of the best strikers in the division, Kamaru Usman. He's more known for his wrestling. He is getting better because he's knocked out of him. He knocked out one of the best strikers in the division, George Masvidal. But, you know, he's confident, man. He must know something I don't. But, hey, I'm ready for the best Gilbert Burns come July 10th. And I'm prepared, like I said, for wherever the fight goes. I don't predict the knockout. I visualize my hand being raised at the end of the fight, preparing myself for just a war. I think it helps me go in and it gives me the confidence to go out there and be prepared for that. A lot of guys go out there expecting knockout, and when it doesn't happen, you know, they either tire themselves out trying or it messes with them mentally. But he was in the corner with Vicente Luque. They're good buds. So, you know, they're training together, preparing for me. Vicente Luque felt it, you know, felt my style. So I believe Vicente might be in his corner for this one.
That about wraps up the video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. But anyways, have a great day and peace.